Hello everyone, happy Thursday. We are here at the heights of Mexico then for the, I think it's the highest race on the calendar, isn't it? I don't I don't know the exact height, excuse me then, I had a frog stuck in my throat then. Oh gosh. And yeah, so we are here in Mexico City, Mexico, for the Mexican Grand Prix, believe it or not then, of course, round 19, and there's 4 more rounds to go of the IRC World Championship as well, and the championship is so hotly contested, isn't it? With only 17 points separates T, Sammy and Max as well. It's looking very interesting indeed, isn't it? And whatever happens tonight, there will be no champion crowned, of course. There are still 104 points up for grabs, isn't it? But this is where I have to get the calculator out now, and this becomes very difficult for me because I am absolutely rubbish with the old maths and all that kind of jazz. Hello, Sprinting, is that sprint straight on there? And on the comments as well, oh goodness me, and I've got to say, this pit lane is quite wide around on this circuit, isn't it? As you would expect on modern Formula 1 circuits, but goodness me, we had the a very close shave then between the McLaren of Gaz and Mason Seedon as they come out onto the track as well. 17 cars on this circuit. Oh, excuse me. 17 cars on this circuit as well. Then it's now that we've just got Gaz just coming out on the circuit as well. Then we have 3 DRS zones around. I thought Mason crashed then. We have 3 DRS zones around here, of course, on the start-finish straight, on the back straight between turn 3 and 4, and of course then going into the stadium section as well. Then it's absolutely I think that this is probably the best podium on the calendar, or maybe the best. Well, we've gone from one epic podium to another, really, haven't we? Of course, we was in Italy last week for the race around the Monza circuit as well. Tonight, then it's Mexico then. And so let's take a look at the drivers in the constructors standing, shall we? We're already 2 minutes into this session. Then it is Max who's in the championship, who is 17 points in front of T. Sammy in second. Sprint is in third position there. He is still within a chance of winning the championship, along with Steve fourth, who's also 65 points behind. There's still 4 drivers mathematically in the running for the championship. In 5th position then is Matt. Unfortunately, Matt is mathematically out of the championship now, but of course, but he can still get as high as 3rd, so he would surely want that, wouldn't he? 6th position is Roscoe. 7th position is Timmy. Fizzy in 8th, Asdog in 9th, and Val in 10th position. PB got some points for this last time out, didn't he? He's actually the only driver to move up a position in the championship, so he is now in front of Snap, who's dropped down into 18th as well. In the constructors standings, it is AlphaTauri now 76 points in front of the next car, which is the Alfa Romeo. And AlphaTauri again cannot win the constructors here tonight, but if the dominoes fall in the correct way, then they could potentially win it in the next race on the calendar, which of course we are in the Canadian Grand Prix then. So we're staying over in the the American side of the world as well, as JJ's retired from the session then. So yeah, we go up to North America. I think this is, I would say this is kind of Central America, really, isn't it, here in Mexico? But yeah, of course, so potentially AlphaTauri could win it in the Canadian Grand Prix in a week's time. But of course, that has to be with a lot of factors going in their way. So we're not even going to ponder that for now, because that is way too far into the future as well. Gaz has gone fast, and said Mason is across the line, and he has gone at second fast man, 1.9 seconds in front of Gaz to start us off. And it's Ada coming over the line at thick and fast as well. Sprint No's gone faster, still in 3/10 second in front of Mason C. Mason C has been absolutely impressive since debuting in IRC. Has been fantastic, I think. Fizzy going into 4th fast at the moment, but Timmy is just in front of his teammate, 3rd position at the moment as well. We've got a Haas coming through as well, and that's Steed just about to finish this up by the looks then. Indeed he is then as well. We've got a Ferrari out there as it is Risto6 is just starting his out lap as well. As it's all coming down the back straight. Look how long it is going from the start-finish line to turn 1. I am looking forward to the race start. It's going to be absolutely epic, isn't it? Really looking forward to that one. But firstly, I need to go back to the what's going on in the constructors. Oh my goodness me! In the constructors, then of course Alfa Romeo second and 76 points behind the AlphaTauri. Ferrari in 3rd position, 112 points back. Haas, we're watching now in 4th position, and McLaren are 5th. Red Bull 6th, but Red Bull going to be looking over their shoulders now because Mercedes Mercedes are now within 8 points of the Red Bull team, and so Mercedes could potentially pinch that 6th position away. Renault in 9th position, and they're kind of in no man's land. Red Bull are, as oh my word, Steve, they're getting a bit of a wobbly on the rear there. Goodness gracious me, then, as wow, that was pretty impressive there from Steve. And really getting very jiggy with it going into the stadium sector. Racing Pointer in 9th position, and they're in no man's land, and Williams then yet to get off the mark in 10th position, and Timmy goes fastest on his second timed run as well. Then Steve coming across the line on the medium compound tires, 4th fastest at the moment. Then the Alfa Romeo Vaz is in 4th position, and I think that's a good time indeed then. But Steve, of course, is on the medium tires, of course. What about the world champion T7? And he is still in the conversation, is he? Very much in the conversation. The world champion is. He is 17 points back at the moment then from Max at the moment then, and I'm wondering that I think that I love to see the championship go down to the wire. I reckon it will go down to the wire as well in Bahrain, of course. And talking of Bahrain, then we're in the middle actually of the double header in Bahrain. Of course, the first race was last Sunday, and an awful crash with Roman Grosjean. It was a horrific reminder of how dangerous Formula 1 could be, and of course also a horrific reminder of how it used to be in the bad old days, where there used to be quite a lot of fiery crashes, wasn't there? But Grosjean there, lucky survivor. And I was a man who was very much against the Halo, but I've been converted. I got to say, I've been converted like good and proper. Really, I think that the first time that I really was grateful about the Halo was when Charles Leclerc and I think it was it Fernando Alonso went over Leclerc, and I didn't think much of it when I first seen that accident in Belgium, but I think there was a close-up, wasn't there, of the Halo from Charles Leclerc, and you seen that there was scuff marks, wasn't there? So I think that was the first indication for me that the Halo is definitely, well, to be honest, it saves lives, doesn't it, really? And of course, George Russell also had the Halo help him out in the Belgian Grand Prix as well, when Giovinazzi's errant wheel came across the track as well. But I think in Sunday, if the Halo wasn't there, unfortunately, we'd probably, well, I don't even know what to think if the Halo wasn't there, but it wouldn't have been very nice, would it? So Grosjean also back in the paddock as well today, isn't he? I think I just seen a picture of him coming into the paddock as well, so it's great to see Grosjean back in there. And yep, and I hope he's in the final race in Abu Dhabi. It might be a bit of a long shot. Steve is retired from the session, and he is safe and sound in the pits as well, Steve is. So he is happy with his time run so far. Matt probably ain't gonna be happy with that time. Knows he's gonna have to have another bite of cherry, isn't he? As Dog's moved up into third position on his second attempt as well. Yes, going back to so hopefully Grosjean does have one more race in Formula 1, and I hope he has it in the I hope he has in Abu Dhabi, as he doesn't really. We don't want his send off to be in that fiery incident, do we? Of in the fiery incident of Bahrain, do we? So yeah, fingers crossed to see Grosjean back in action in the Haas on in a couple of, well, I think it's 2 weeks' time, isn't it? Where we finish off in Abu Dhabi. So looking forward to that indeed. And also, of course, this weekend now it's going to be very unusual, isn't it? Also, Lewis Hamilton's got it's got that horrific virus going around. As Matt is coming into the pits at the moment, so he's not going for another timed run just yet. And Rizzle Sticks is out on his outlap at the moment then, and so Matt, I think, will be either he's going to stay out or he's going to come back in the pits. Gas also out on circuit as well. Penny is a 10th for a second up after this second intermediate split time. And just watching him on this stadium as well. Yeah, Hamilton unfortunately got the dreaded virus, hasn't he? So, but I'm hoping he'll be back in time for the final race of the season in Abu Dhabi as well. So it'll be good to see Hamilton back. Penny has gone just under half a second quicker than his previous time. Good time indeed there for Penny. They're very impressive stuff indeed. Rizzle Sticks goes across the line and starts his lap as well. So, but with Hamilton out there is a lot of question marks about who is going to be driving the second Mercedes. It will be George Russell, won't it, be driving the second Mercedes, which is absolutely brilliant, isn't it? And hopefully he can get his first points of his career as well. That'd be great stuff. Rizzle Sticks there having a lot of oversteer there, and then understeer as well. That's probably the worst car to drive at the moment. Oversteer and understeer. Goodness me, you don't know which way he's going to be steering, does he? Yes, Russell then will be in the Mercedes head as well. And I got to say, it's quite it's a bit of a pressure cooker for Bottas, isn't it? Because everyone expects Bottas to win, but if George Russell beats Bottas, then goodness me, he is going to be well, I gotta say, there's going to be a lot of mumblings going on in the pit lane, isn't it? That's definitely a fact. Also, we've got Jack Aitken there driving in the George Russell's place in the Williams as well. It's great to see Jack Aitken also making his debut in Formula 1. Brilliant stuff. And now, of course, we've got another famous name of Fittipaldi returning. The famous Fittipaldi name is returning back to Formula 1 as well. Great stuff indeed to see Fittipaldi back on the grid there. Of course, he's replacing Roman Grosjean, and hopefully that's only for one race, because we'd love to see Grosjean back in action. Russell Sticks is now up to 6 fast moment. Good stuff indeed there. His teammate Maxi, the championship leader, out of the final turn. Maxi goes second fast at the moment there, and wow, goodness me, he's about 3 tenths per second away from his teammate at the moment. That's quite a big gap, isn't it? 8 minutes to go in this qualifying session, and Yanis said, "Evening, Sean. Hoping it'll be a great race, just as last year." And yes, indeed. Then, and of course, let's take a quick reminder about last season's race, shall we? In Mexico, of course, T. Sammy has got the all-time lap record around here for 1:17.138, hasn't he? The world champion, and as Maxi is going faster still in this first intermediate split time. T. Sammy's retired from this first qualifying session. Of course, the man who's got the all-time lap record around here, hasn't he? So we're back on board for our drive. So we're coming to the close of this season 8 already of IRC. Goodness me, I gotta say, the more I do commentary around here, the more scared I get, to be honest. Because gosh, these years are absolutely flying by now. Since I started commentating for the IRC, it's been absolutely, years have just been rolling by. It's pretty scary, isn't it? Gosh, as you think that about 22 weeks of commentary is going to, you think that, just take a week after week, but gosh, it only feels like yesterday where we started season 8 there. Absolutely frightening prospect, isn't it? And of course, no one can stop time, of course, and that is what these drivers are trying to do tonight, is actually beat the clock. And at the moment, Maxi is the man who is not beating the clock, but is tamed the clock so far. He is fast as 10th of a second in front of his championship rival T. Sammy as well. Everyone is in the pits apart from Max at the moment, so he's going to be a bit of a lonesome figure out there, isn't he? Who hasn't come out of the pits just yet? We haven't seen Hog yet. We haven't seen PB, Val, or Roscoe either at this stage of proceedings. Well, T. Sammy, T. Sammy, really? I have an all-time lap record? Hello, Sean. Hello, T. Sammy. Yes, indeed you do. Of course, you hold the lap record around here, and I think you hold it in the couple of races. Well, you got one in Monaco. I haven't updated my spreadsheet actually, so that might be broken now. But yes, you have one in Monaco, and you have one in Hungary as well, my good sir. Is back on board there with Max at the moment. So at the moment there's only going to be, well, there's no cars out on track, as I just mentioned then, and look at that heat haze there. I've got to say, it's a scorcher here in Mexico tonight, isn't it? Oh, blimey there. I've got to say, being a ginger, high five, get out there, you're going to have to scrape me off the tarmac, aren't you? I'm going to be like a fried egg, or a fried tomato, I don't know, something like that as well. As Max there coming now out of the front turn. Of course, that used to be the Paratada, didn't it, back in 92, before they made amendments to the circuit there. Of course, unfortunately, they couldn't keep the Paratada, could they? Because of I think it's too close to the main road, isn't it, on the other side of that wall, and which is a bit it's a bit unfortunate, because we would have loved to see the Paratada, didn't we? I think Ayrton Senna had a big old smash there in 1991, if I'm not very much mistaken, in his McLaren, and of course his last championship year for Ayrton Senna. But at the time, I don't think anyone would have even thought about that, would he? Because Ayrton Senna was still in his prime, wasn't he, back in 91? Of course, McLaren did have a bit of dip in form, didn't they? Especially in 93 and beyond there. Of course, after the Honda engines, just after McLaren lost these Honda engines as well. I think they had 4, didn't they, in 93, before going to that very troublesome Peugeot Peugeot engine in 94. Goodness me, Martin Brundle had the worst of luck there, didn't he? As, even in the British Grand Prix, his home race there, he just was on fire before he even got off the grid there, which is a shame there for Martin Brundle, wasn't it? Gareth saying good evening, Sean. Hello, Gareth, and I hope you're having a great day as well. I was going to say a lovely day, but I think I decided to go for a great day. Once Matt then come out, the Nigel Mansell turn now is not the Paratada, of course. And I think one of my all-time favourites actually overtakes is, of course, Nigel Mansell going around the outside of Gerhard Berger. That was a brilliant overtake as well. Of course, Mansell showing that he is a man not to be trifled with, is he really? as he comes down into turn 1 now, Matt does that, and before going into turn 2 and 3 there. I'm looking forward to turn 1 actually. This is I think it's the second longest run down to the first braking zone, if I'm not very much mistaken. It's a long drag, isn't it? I think it's the second after Russia, if I'm not very much mistaken, and yeah, it's going to be great, isn't it, going down there. I think that the person who's going to be on pole tonight may not be the most happiest of the drivers there in the pre-race, are they? They might be a bit concerned now about the slipstream that's going to go on behind them then. So I think that Russia in this race is two races where you really don't want pole position at all, do you? 3.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session, and of course in this qualifying session we are aiming to lose the two slowest drivers here tonight then, and PB then doesn't look like he's coming out of the pits. Let's see, we've already lost JJ as well then, so those two might be the two that are taking the unfortunately taking the walk of shame then. Gareth saying 10th in Q1, back at football last night, having a lovely time. Haha. How was your day? My day was I gotta say, I've had a very long day at work, to be honest. Is Matt's gone there second fast at the moment. No, Jan, he's gone 8 fastest. I'm talking absolutely hogwash. Val then going across the line. He's gone 4 fastest now in the Mercedes as well. I'm very well, Gareth. And of course, apart from the fact that, apart from having to go to work this morning and get up at a very late 8:30, gosh, yeah, there's two others. I do enjoy my bed a lot more than I do eating, which is quite saying something really, because that's actually my favourite hobby. Eating and sleeping are my two favourite ones, and then Formula 1 as well. So as much as I love Formula 1, and I do love Formula 1, and absolutely it's basically in my everyday life, really, isn't it, Formula 1? But two things I do love more is eating and sleeping, and it just shows how much I love it as well. We got Roscoe then coming out of turn 1 and 2 as well then. Now before going into 3 then, the Red Bull driver Roscoe's been on a bit of a good run of form, hasn't he, of late in the Red Bull, and I think that this season he's had 7 podiums there. It's been really good from Roscoe, I gotta say. I think that if this form came a little earlier on the season, perhaps he could have been also a bit higher up as well, but I think it's the DNFs that have really cost him this season. He's had 5 in his championship campaign so far, which is, I think, it's one of the higher ends of the DNFs there, which is probably why Roscoe was not in the conversation, unfortunately, was he? Now coming into the stadium sector as well then, and Roscoe be hoping that he's on the podium for the 8th time this season as well, and of course one of the best podiums already mentioned there on the right hand side as we go through the stadium sector as well. Of course, this is not the finest piece of racetrack in the world, is it, going through the stadium sector, but it's but of course there's a great amphitheatre around there, doesn't it? Roscoe is second fast as well. It's at the moment it's a T Sammy who is Maxi's off, and I've only just noticed. Oh goodness me, where's he gone? And I told he might have retired a long time ago, and I've been waffling away, and Maxi, the championship leader, is out of qualifying. He is not going to take part in qualifying 2. Oh, beyond goodness gracious me, then this is appalling up for the world champion, and we don't even know where he's gone off then. Of course there is a lot of slippery corners around the S section. This second sector is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? I'm wondering where Roscoe went off. I'm wondering where Maxi went off. I'm wondering if it's the same place where Vettel kept having problems back in 2015. Goodness gracious me then. And that is not good at all then. We've got the Greek League here then. Hello, of course they are the T Sammy fan club here then. Great to have you along for the ride then, guys. Of course, keep your cheers coming in then. Well, at the moment I hope you're cheering quite loud, because at the moment T Sammy's championship rival is out of qualifying, and he is fast at the moment in qualifying 1 then. And well, I've got to say, this first qualifying session was a bit of a test session, really, wasn't it? And it was also a test for me to make sure that I had my head screwed on, and I really don't do it, because I have missed Maxi, one of the major players in IRC. It's out already then. So just watching Roscoe come into the pits as well. Matt's also in the pits, and that's the end of qualifying 1. Out of qualifying PB, I think he's only taken part in 2 qualifying sessions this season, and I think one was Vietnam and the other one was Monaco, if I'm not very much mistaken. JJ out of qualifying, Maxi out of qualifying as well. Huge news then in the first part of qualifying, and I was definitely not expecting that then. As, I think I was waffling on about I don't know what I was waffling on about, really, but nevertheless, Maxi is out of qualifying. He is 15th. No T cars in Formula 1 anymore. Of course, if it was back around the 2002 era, he would have just ran back and gone to the spares. Lucas there, a former IRC elite driver, T Sammy, as the fans are coming in as well. Great stuff and see that. Keep your comments coming in, guys. I'd like to hear your favourite Mexican Mexican moments and stuff. Of course, if you're a new era fan, then of course you've only had 4 or 5, wouldn't you? Because this race returned back in 2015, didn't it? Of course, it also races around the Day of the Dead, doesn't it? Really, which of course is a great atmosphere, doesn't it? Out of qualifying is PB though, as he didn't emerge out the pitch. JJ and also Maxi is out of qualifying as well after going into the barrier. He is out then. Hogg did not set a time, and that might be very clever for Hogg. Then he is saving those tyres, isn't he, for the race itself? Then so interesting strategy there. And same with Steve then, who's on the medium tyre then at the top of the time. So it is T7, the only man into the 14s apart from Maxi, but that is basically it's nothing really now, is it? Because he's out of qualifying. Right, we're going into qualifying too as well then, and still a lovely day out there, isn't it? Goodness me then. I got to say I would be tempted to get my legs out, but of course that I'm not going to do anyone that horror, am I? Of course, this race usually around the Halloween, isn't it? Really, so I think that's probably a horror too far, isn't it? As you can see, they're all very keen on getting out onto the grid as well. Hogg is out of qualifying already. As we got a car then emerging out then, and it's one of the racing points, and it's Mason then, and this is MO really, isn't it? Mason just likes to come out the pits there, get his tire strategy right, get his head in the game there, straight on it from the get-go, isn't he? Mason is, and you can see then as he got blast down in certain one as well, and I think he's done him a very good service in the last couple of races, so I think he's been one of the as Max has left the session now, hopefully he comes back in soon, but I think that's what Mason's done a very I think Mason's done a very good job since stepping into the IRC, hasn't he? 9 race starts tonight, and I've got to say, I keep calling him a rookie, and he's only just joined, but 9 race starts, it just shows how quickly these weeks go by, doesn't it? Goodness gracious me. So just watching Mason there, who's just getting himself warmed up as well. I've got 2 McLarens out on circuit, 2 Alfa Romeos as well then. So I would say it's a Noah's Ark there, isn't it? 2x2, but Mason there is going against the green, so to speak, isn't it? I'm talking to green now. Next time the IRC will be racing on a new game will be the F1 2021 game, which of course is in 2 seasons time, and then we'll be having the green Aston Martin. Well, I hope it's the green Aston Martin anyway, because I would love to see the racing green on there. One of my all-time favourite cars is actually the Jaguar. I love that car. To watch it when it emerged there in 2000, it was an absolutely splendid car. It really was indeed. And it's a shame that they never lived up to the billing, Jaguar, did they? Which is such a shame, isn't it? Of course, they are now morphed into today's Red Bull team, haven't they? And of course, even before then, they were the Stewart Racing team, weren't they? Of course, back in '99, Johnny Herbert won his final race there, didn't he? Of his free race win in his career there, in the European Grand Prix as well. And that's one of my all-time favourite races as well. I keep bringing up that qualifying session because I think that qualifying session was absolutely spectacular. There's little flags going on down in the stadium sector there, so some shenanigans going on the far part of the circuit. Mason there is not going to be interested in those shenanigans at the moment, is he? All he's interested in is getting a good lap on these medium tyres as well then. Oh, look at that back end. Oh, he's too far there, Mason is said, so he took too much curb, and and of course he's just trying to get himself back on circuit. He's got to be careful here, guys, because he doesn't want to disqualify. Remember, Matt got disqualified in the Dutch Grand Prix, didn't he, earlier on the season there, which I think was very harsh indeed, wasn't it, really? But because he was just trying, he was actually being a gentleman, trying to let all the other drivers through. But Codemasters just thought then he was up to no good there, parking at the exit of the pit lane, as the yellow flag's getting in, as figures Mason there just getting on the way as well. Here comes T Sammy then. So T Sammy then, who is currently then on course, can he get his fourth pole position tonight then? If he does, I think that he might just have a chance there of equaling Maxi's record of 8 then. But Maxi, but he won't be able to overthrow him because Maxi has 8 pole positions already with only 4 rounds to go then. So all he could do is equal that. Well, T-Tammy goes on to a 15-9 so far. Steve is the only man that could probably get more pole positions than Maxi, because it just shows how incredible Maxi's been this season then. T-Tammy's fast then. Gaz has gone second then on the soft compound tyres at the moment in the McLaren. Great stuff indeed then. We've also got the second Alfa Romeo car coming through then, and that's Asdog then. He's he's almost a second and a bit down there. Timmy goes into second fast at the moment, and good stuff indeed then as they fly past me on the start finish straight as well, as we've also got Valis there also commenting as well. Then I hope I said your name right. I apologise if I haven't. But as a lot of you viewers know, then I've got an pulling for vocabulary, haven't I? I stroked to even say my own name at the best of times. Well, lovely shot here from Sprint then. Of course, as Steve's gone fast there, and it really that's impressive stuff from Steve there. But he's on the soft tires. He was gone from medium to soft then. So either Steve has got mixed up with the qualifying sessions, which I highly doubt he has. It's more the case that he wants to start on those soft tires then for the Mexican Grand Prix. 10 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Steve fastest sprint who so far this season has been my driver of the season, most improved as well. But then again, he's been steadily improving over the season, hasn't he? Over the last since he made his debut a couple of seasons ago, he's been very impressive, hasn't he? Yeah, there's a lot of T Sammy fans in the comments. I'm absolutely loving it as well. And T Sammy there, I wonder if this is I think that encouragement there could muster up a final assault there on the championship with 4 rounds to go. Only 104 points are up for grabs then. Of course, you get a bonus point for fast lap now as well. So every single point I think is going to be crucial going into the final stage of this race, final stage of the championship as well, which will be a jewel in the desert, won't it? But it won't be Abu Dhabi, it will be the Bahrain Grand Prix. On board with Matt then, Matt has had a 1 race win as well this season. The AlphaTauri team, I think, have been the most impressive team, haven't they? So I'm wondering if that'll be an award. If it is, then I think that AlphaTauri might win it hands down there. As Matt there flies underneath me now then. We've also got Fizzy, who's also on soft tires, and so interesting stuff here, isn't it? Sticks out on the track as well. He's just starting us up there. The strategy around here then, I think there's probably going to be a 2-stopper. That's with a finger in the air kind of guess, because I'm thinking that it might be softs, mediums perhaps, unless someone throws on the hard tires. But if I remember rightly, in recent years the hard tires have never been too good around here, haven't they? But I could be completely wrong now. So if no one listens to my strategy calls anyway, because why would you? Then that would be absolutely asking for trouble, wouldn't it? Even the great T Samuel Maxey with my strategy calls would never win a race there. So, and that is of course par and parcel, isn't it, about being a IRC driver. It's not about being the quickest driver, is it, over 1 lap. It's not being about the quickest driver over 36 laps. It's about having the whole package, isn't it? About having the whole package for the whole event now. Having a decent qualifying performance, having a good race strategy behind you as well, making sure you avoid any trouble then. All these permutations that you have to avoid, don't you, if you want to win and even become an IRC champion as well. On board with Roscoe as well then, as he is coming into the stadium sector now then for the Red Bull team. And look at this, as he's a lovely bit of hot skip and jump there coming out of the stadium sector as well, through the Nigel Mansell turn as well, or the Paratada, depending on your type of era. And Roscoe goes at 6 fast at the moment, and good 17 there. Rizzo did a 17.5 there, so he's going for another bite of cherry as well. He's quite quick in the second sector, good 17 there for Rizzo. I apologise, the first sector, I should say. Val's gone at 7 fast at the moment, and as I got distracted there, as I thought it's in 2 Lucases, and indeed I did see 2 Lucases, and as we got a second Lucas in the comments say, good evening, go T Sammy. As yes, unfortunately all you T Sammy fans out there, he's only burst out of the pit lane once, so maybe some of the fan club needs to ask T Sammy to get out there and have another bite of the cherry then. But then again, why would he? Because of course this qualifying too is about strategy, isn't it? And T Sammy is on the medium tires, so that might be the best tire to go on, of course, and we do not know yet, do we? Rizzle 6 there has had an appalling final sector there, so he's going to have another go then. That'll be 3 laps on these medium tires now, and of course every lap then he will be taken into the Grand Prix as well then, as the sprint is retired from the session. And I had a bit of a panic there because I was looking left, right, because I was wondering if he went off into the Armco. Rizzo 6 then, who is just T Summoner has had a lot of understeer there, hasn't he? I wonder if Rizzo 6 hasn't helped, and I think this is Timmy's on a quick lap as well. Indeed he is using the DRS there, but that's not going at all well then. But Rizzo 6 has the right of way, of course. He is 3/10 of a second up then. This is his timed run, so he of course doesn't need to jump out of the way, does he? So I think that might hurt T Sammy's lap then. This is quite a short circle, isn't it? I think it's about 2.6 miles approximately, or something like that. So yes, you will be tripping over each other, won't you, at some time or another there? But unfortunately, it's going to have to be a bit gentlemanly around here, aren't you? You cannot, oh goodness me, he's flying into the stadium sector as well. We've got 2 racing points in front of us, and of course Penny, who is on and out lap moment, is Mason, who's just coming across the line, and is he? Oh, he is coming in the pits, and I thought he was carrying on then. Here comes Rizzlesticks, who is also carrying on as well. Rizzlesticks has improved to 10th, and that is enough to get him through at the moment. Ron Gas is just coming on the pit set. We're watching Asdog at the moment. He is coming up to the he's 1.5 seconds quicker than his previous best time for Asdog then, and I wonder if that was a banker lap then for the former race winner, the former pole sitter as well. Asdog as well. Of course, he won 2 races last season, didn't he? Really, I think that there were some mighty fine drives, but this season Asdog hasn't got up to too much speed yet. But having said that, well, he just really put me on my place, hasn't he? Good 17th there from Asdog. I do feel that Asdog is definitely very much building for next season. I reckon that Asdog is going to put on a major assault then for the World Championship next season as well. So watch that space there for Asdog, and also keep an eye on Roscoe. I think Roscoe is another driver that is definitely starting to build up for the second season on this game as well. Of course, IRC has 2 seasons per game, don't they? This is the first one on 2020 where the drivers there. Whereas of course, this is probably where we've seen the drivers over at T Sammy and Maxi there really get a strong foothold, and Steve as well. But I'm looking forward to next season as well, because you've got to include the likes of Roscoe and Asdog. Now I would even I'll throw Fizzy in there as well, actually, because Fizzy had a really good second season, didn't he? Back in season 7, of course, he won that dramatic race back in the Japanese Grand Prix as well. Here comes Timmy. He goes second fast money. He's had 2 pole positions, Timmy has this season then, and he's looked very strong in this McLaren this season, hasn't he? He's had moments of absolute brilliance as well, Timmy has. He's only had 2 podiums there, which I think he's had a lot of bad luck as well in this McLaren. Hopefully he can stay out of trouble here tonight then and get some more points on the board there for the McLaren Renault team then, which will soon be morphed into the McLaren Mercedes team as well, which I'm looking forward to that then. It feels right, doesn't it, just having the McLaren Mercedes. McLaren Renault just didn't have the same ring to it, in my opinion, but then again, I am quite old, of course. Just watching and Gaz coming in for yes as well. They're on board there with Gaz, and he's using the 1995 Michael Schumacher helmet, and of course I think that's one of Michael Schumacher's best world championships, in my opinion, because he didn't have the best car that season, did he? Arguably didn't have the best car. I think Williams had the best car, didn't they? But unfortunately, Hill and Coulthard just couldn't extract the maximum out of it. It was a pretty difficult year for the Williams pair, wasn't it? Of course, Coulthard had a nightmare in Monza, didn't he? We also had Damon Hill there having a lot of nightmares, hitting Schumacher a couple of times over as well in that season. Then Gaz there is going across the line. He's a 1.5 seconds slower at that stage of proceedings. Then I think he was just trying to find his feet. As we're just looking at the pit lane at the moment, as we've seen a Ferrari, I think it's Rizzlesticks going on the pits. I believe it is Matten, who is in 8th position at the moment, in the AlphaTauri. Then, of course, the former race winner as well this season. Good 17th then, just on board with him now. Yellow flags and fluttering in the first sector as well. The first sector is very much about the power, isn't it? Of course, we're at such a high altitude. Then these are very much. We do have a Monza spec, similar to Monza spec setups, I believe. Then, don't you? As of course, the air is less dense up here, isn't it? Of course, don't take my word for it, because I just heard a lot of that on the commentary, usually for the Mexican Grand Prix. So that's basically how I know all that. Otherwise, I wouldn't even thought about it then. Matt coming through the final turn, and he goes for half a second quicker, and that moves him up to a very strong 6th position at the moment. Val is now going for a tiny run with 2.5 minutes to go in this session, and Gaz is also on a lap then as he's coming into the same section as well. Look at those brake discs glowing, and he's gone a bit wide there in the of course the very Mickey Mouse-esque stadium section as well, going very wide there, is he? I think Bottas crashed just around from there, didn't he? And so I think that might have definitely caught Gaz's attention, but he's come back into the pits and he's currently 13 fast at the moment. We're on board the Mercedes at the moment. Let's keep an eye to see what Mason can do now. Mason is still in the top 10 with 2 minutes to go. Of course, out of the top 10 is Val, Rizzlesticks and Gaz then, and all those three then could potentially sneak into qualifying 3 then, so no one can rest on their laurels then for the final stage of this qualifying session then, for qualifying 2 I should say then, as we've got yellow flags again and fluttering then, as Matt just returning back to the pit pits then. Mason then still got a job to do with just 2 more turns to go then. Coming into the Nigel Mansell turn as well, accelerated away. Mason's time is a 16.6. That's a much better time now for Mason. Goodness me, he's found almost 7/10 of a second on that lap. Impressive stuff indeed then. And I've just turned my TV off. Hang on a minute. No, I've just sat on the remote. Oh, that's not good, is it? Hang on. How do I exit Amazon Prime on this controller? I don't know how to use this TV, to be honest, but there we go. There it is. It's back on then. Let me just make sure that controller is well out of the way. So that was pretty embarrassing, wasn't it? We're just giving on Roscoe. Roscoe is almost a second up as well. Penny is in the top 10 and he's slipping down slowly. And T. Sammy is actually down in 9th position then. Unbeknownst to me then, Roscoe comes across the line. He is now second then. And a lot of soft runners are coming out on circuit now then. Oh, Rizzlestick's there, getting a bit of squirty there, isn't he, out of the stadium sector as well. Through the final turn then. What can Rizzle do? He is 8th fast at the moment. I'm looking and there's an Alpha Romeo then just starting his lap then. Mason then, is he going for a second run? No, he is then. And who was that? Oh, that's Fizzy there. I was like, he's never going to get into that corner. No, I was like, wow, that's an incredible first sector there from Fizzy. As I'm just watching, and as Val is crawling back to the pits, he's 4th fast at the moment. I wonder if Fizzy's going to try. I think he's just trying to get to the end of the lap. And I don't think Fizzy's going to do it. And oh goodness me, then. And he's also got a bit of polystyrene there stuck in the brake duct there. Wow, look at the velocity of that polystyrene there going into the crowd. Then I don't think Fizzy's going to make it. And 2, 1, the checker flag has fallen there for Fizzy. He is finished qualifying and he is going to be looking over his shoulder. Steve is about to finish his lap then. He's currently fastest. He improves once again then. Val then is just finished up as well. Fizzy has also finished, and what a shame there for Fizzy then. So he will not be able to start another lap then. Of course, you must cross the finish line before the checker flag falls then. We've also got yellow flags there for Roscoe as well. What about T7? The world champion is currently out of qualifying, but he's found a second in the second split there. So Mason there is going to be sweating nervously, isn't he? Because the champion is about to finish this off as well. And we've also got Penny out on circuit. Can Penny also squeeze any more performance out of that racing point? T7 goes cross line. He goes second fastest. He is through into qualifying free there. And that was very nervous times there for the world champion, wasn't it? Here comes Penny then out of the final part of the course as well, and let's see what he did. He needs aim for 15.8 and he does it. He improves just about, but he's just under a tenth of a second outside of that time. Now Matt gets through on the medium tires. I think he's the only man on that medium compound tire as well, and well, it was very close towards the end, and goodness me, I think Matt might have been very concerned about that, but he doesn't need to be worried anymore because he is through into qualifying free. Unfortunately, Penny there was so close yet so far. Fizzy there missed the checker, missed the line then, but that doesn't make a difference now because he is also through into qualifying free as well. And I'm wondering actually, is Fizzy also on the medium tires? And let's find out, shall we? As the graphic for the for qualifying 2 is coming up momentarily, and there it is. And no, he's still on the soft tires. And Matt is the only person then on the medium compound tire, and we'll see how that plays later on in the race as well, which is coming up in about 15 minutes time for you race fans out there. Of course, we still have qualifying free to go then. The most this is going to be the fastest time, the fastest these cars are going to be tonight. So they're going to be trimmed full of fuel, trimmed without no fuel, I should say, then, on the fresh, soft tyres as well, then. And of course, it's all about going for 1 lap pace set. Just confirming Hogg is out qualifying, Gaz in 13th. And then it's an all racing point, row 6 then, with Penny being out qualified by Mason, who is 11th position 12. Very close the 2 racing points from getting through. Right then, we're into qualifying 3 now. Apologies for that. I've discovered I've got a bottle of Ribena, and it's the strawberry Ribena as well. It's absolutely lush. So I can't resist. And unfortunately, it's been in the corner of my eye for the past 10 minutes now, and I was like, oh, I just gotta have a bit of a sip. Oh, I love it. Right. Anyway, enough about my love of Ribena. Let's get back on with the action, shall we? Well, we're in qualifying 3 then. I wonder if anyone's going to try and go for 3 timed runs around here. It's quite a short circuit, isn't it? It's a very fast circuit as well. Well, I think Steve is definitely floating that idea, isn't he? As he is coming out on track very early on. Then we're less than half a minute into this qualifying session, and here is the man who's been on pole position 4 times this season. Can he get a 5th here tonight as well? Well, he is. Of course, he's the only man that can overthrow the with the having most pole positions this season, which is set by Maxi at the moment. Then Maxi, of course, the World Championship leader out of this qualifying session, not even in the session there, is he? And I love that helmet from Steve, by the way. That's a fantastic helmet, isn't it? Lovely stuff indeed, then. Yeah, I'm loving that. And then a beautiful purple helmet there from Steve, then. Of course, I gotta tip my hat off to Max, though. I do like it when the drivers do not change their helmets, and because your helmet is your signature, in my opinion. Which I'm coming from like the old school kind of thing there, where drivers didn't really change helmets much, did they, back in the day? Well, it seems today that. A lot of drivers do change their helmets for almost every race, but of course there I do like the old traditional helmets. Of course, David Coulthard with the beautiful Scottish flag on his helmet as well. We also had a Jensen Button there, of course, with the Union Jack on the side, then with a bit of the blue top as well. Michael Schumacher there, he did have the blue top, didn't he, before he went to all red back in 2000, didn't he? It's your signature, isn't it? And T7 there, of course, having that signature green helmet. And I bet you when you look in the mirrors as well, don't you get? I think all these drivers, they get very concerned when they see the world champion in their wing mirrors as well with that bright green helmet. I think that it gets everyone a bit concerned, doesn't it? Steve's starting to stop as well. Rustic's in the pits, and Steve flying past me then as well as he comes firing down into turn 1. He's been on a bit of run look as of late, Steve has, and can he get himself back in the third? Can he? He is still mathematically in the championship, but out of the top 4, he is the least likeliest one there to beat, but he is still in it to win it, isn't he? And that is the most important part of this championship, isn't it? With Maxi out in the major issues in qualifying too, not even in the session at the moment, then the top 3 could potentially strike, whilst the iron is lukewarm at the moment there, because the iron is not hot, because we know about Maxi's pace in the race. It's incredible, it's frightening, isn't it, to say the least. Then see then coming out of the double right-hander as well then. Sorry, I've got to put my teeth back in then, is so do you think after, because I think that this is like myself, 3rd season of doing the commentary of IRC, you would think I'll learn how to talk properly now, since that is kind of my role, really, isn't it? Is that talking about these guys going round one of the best machines in the world then. But I still have to put my teeth in every once in a while. Then Steve then is just coming out of the stadium sector as well then into the Paratada as well for his first time running his first bite of the cherry, and he's in the 13.9 second. Goodness me, that's an impressive time indeed then, is there? What about T7? And T7 coming across the line, he is second fast at the moment, and he did back off, I think, because he was quite close behind Steve. And here comes Timmy out of the final turn as well. He's had 2 pole positions this season. Can he get a third then? He is currently on the front row though. Val has gone at full faster, but that's been quickly eclipsed there by his teammate Fizzy, who's now in 4th position as well. And we've got both Alpha Taris coming into the final sector as well. It is sprint first, so sprint out of the Paratada. Sprint goes full fast, and he's on the second row of the grid at the moment. Matt then, can he have a out of the world lap as well? Of course, that was a bit of a pun on his helmet there. So it's a beautiful Galaxy helmet, isn't it? And that reminds me that I really need to buy a Galaxy bar tomorrow. Matt goes 6th fastest then. It's a Alpha Tauri Mercedes. AlphaTauri Mercedes said 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th at the moment. Asdog is coming out of the stadium sector as well, and then we got Roscoe, who's also out on circuit then, and we got 7 3/4 minutes to go in the session then. Asdog goes 7th fast at the moment. What about Roscoe as well then? Roscoe hasn't on the pole position this season, has he? But of course he's a very good racer, isn't he? Out of the final turn, Roscoe, he is currently 5th fast at the moment, and on row 3. So that's our first time runs done and dusted, isn't it? As we're just watching T. Samuels actually was finding time in the second sector there. I think that though he was just probably trying some different lines, wasn't he, before he has another bite of the cherry as well. There's the Alfa Romeo mechanics there as they're getting the dolly wheels under the car now, as they're going to swivel him back into the garage as well there. So let's take stock then. 7 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Steve is currently leading, and well, currently fast, I should say, then by a mammoth 6/10 of a second in front of Timmy Timmy in second position. T Sammy is third then with Sprint fourth. Fifth is Roscoe. Fizzy in sixth then with Matt in seventh. And I think that Roscoe is going to be feeling a bit lonesome there. It's an AlphaTauri and it's a Mercedes Jewel there, isn't it? Well, I would say that, but Asdog is also in 8th position as well then, so never mind then. We got Matt in 7th position, Asdog is 8th, Val is in 9th position, and Rizzo6 now has emerged onto the course then in 10th position as well. As I got to quickly wipe this hair out of my eyes there. So there is the top 9 moment. Rizzo6 said it's going to make it a top 10 shootout, and that's exactly what we want to see, isn't it? So Rizzo6 there is going to be out on his own at the moment. But what I think the Rizzo6, I've been talking about how Roscoe's been very impressive in the second half of the season there, and also Aslog is now starting to show some flashes of speed there. But of course Rizzo6 there is having a great run of form, wasn't he, in the Ferrari? In 3 races, Azerbaijan, British Grand Prix and Brazil, he scored in those 3 races, didn't he? And up to that point he hadn't scored a single point in IRC, and then of course he really had some impressive runs, didn't he? Unfortunately, hasn't scored in the last 2 rounds. Rizzo6 hasn't, but if he gets a clean race today, he's surely a contender for some points here tonight as well. As the Rizzo6 there is now just coming into the stadium sector. He's about to start his lap then. Timmy, I should say. There's too many T's, isn't there? Of course, I'll get very tongue-tied with me, all me T's and stuff. Of course, being British, so I should really love a bit of tea, but unfortunately, I'm not really a bit of a tea lover, to be fair. I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm not as refined as my fellow Brits. So we're just watching Rizzo6 there coming down the back straight as well then in the Ferrari. The DRS is wide open as well in that Scarlet as well, and it's very unusual for us not to see the championship leader Maxi in this qualifying session, but it's great to see Rizzo6 in as well. As we already mentioned, Rizzo6 has been very impressive in the last couple of rounds or so, hasn't he? And he's been and once again in qualifying 3 as well. Let me adjust my headpiece. There we go. So now I can not hear anything. So if anyone's talking to me, unfortunately I won't be able to hear him. But of course they shouldn't be talking to me because I am doing my job there tonight as well. I'm not sure how well or not I'm doing, but I'm still doing it nonetheless then. Rizzo6 coming to the S as well, and look at how much curve he takes there. Goodness me then, I've got to say that's inch perfect there from Rizzo6. Absolutely love it there, and that is exactly how you get through the S's like that. It's inch perfect there from Rizzo6 there. He's done a 56.1 in the second intermediate split time as well then. Lovely over the shoulder shot as well, and you can see this is very much a bit too high for the driver eye kind of thing, isn't it? But lovely stuff but nonetheless as well. And now then into the Nigel Mansell turn as well, and out of it, and let's see what Rizzo6 can do. He is in 8th position. Good time there from Rizzo6 there. Really good time indeed then. So there's some time in the back then. There's some time that Asdog and Val have got really fine, haven't they? What about Timmy? Well, he's 8/400 a second up in the first split time. Lovely stuff indeed there as they flatly passed me as well. Then in the second split time, he's 2/10 of a second down. So Timmy has had a nightmare second sector. A lot of you, of course, a lot of you non-racing fans will be wondering, well, 2/10 of a second is absolutely nothing. It is in normal world, isn't it? But it's not in this world, is it? This world is fast. It's all about inches, isn't it, in this game? And that's what the thrill of the qualifying chases as well. Then. So now then, Timmy's going to go for a second bite of the cherry, isn't it? We'll keep an eye on what Timmy can do then. We're going to keep an eye on what this man can do. Val, Rizzo6 head is just cruising back to the pit set as we've got a couple of other cars emerging out of the pit set. We've got Asdog, we got Fizzy also out of the pit as well. We've got T Salmon and the world champion who is actually just in front of us, isn't he? Indeed he is as well. He is 1900 a second up in the second sector at the moment. Look at that, and once again and very close to the edge of the limit and beyond. For T Salmon looking incredible, isn't he? DRS right on the minute. Now drivers get a beep in the air. Well, T Sammy doesn't even need a beep, does he? He knows exactly where that line is. I bet he could close his eyes and know where that line is as well. Brilliant stuff indeed then as he now comes through and into the final part of the course as well, then accelerating away. And let's see what he can do then. T Sammy is second fast moment, and he is a whisker in front of T Sammy. Well, 2/10 of a second, but he's still not in the 13s. That is a monstrous lap there from Steel, I must say. But I wonder if there's a bit more in the bank there for for T Salmon because he's going again. What about Timmy? Timmy is again a 10th second down. Is the track conditions changing out there? Because no drivers, as I get my teeth back out, no drivers at the moment hasn't actually improved just yet. We're watching Val at the moment. Well, Val has, he's up to 8th position now. Good 17th there for Val, and he's going for a second bite of the chair as well. Watching his teammate then in the second Mercedes, and that's Fizzy. Look at that! I love that shot. That is absolutely exquisite, isn't it? Of course, Fizzy is an expert. Is an expert. His PB is left for session. No, that's not good, is it? Of course, Fizzy is an expert photographer, isn't he? And some of the shots that he shows after the race is absolutely exquisite, isn't it? And I love to know how he does it. Really, well, you know, even if he showed me how to, I'm absolutely useless with a camera. But it's absolutely, it's a brilliant. It's very brilliant to see some of the shots there. I love the best shot that I ever seen Fizzy do was the British Grand Prix one of IRC. Absolutely amazing. It's I'm waffling on. I think I need to be more concerned about what's going on here. T Sammy has edged closer. He's still in the 14s at the moment, isn't he? Val goes 6 fast at the moment as well in the second Mercedes. Has he got enough time for has he got enough fuel, I should say? He hasn't. He's only got 70 seconds to go as well, then it's going to be very much nip and tuck, isn't it? Timmy is 2 seconds down, and I think that this might be the end of Timmy's qualifying performance. Indeed, yes, he comes into the pits as well, the McLaren driver does. As I was running out very quite rapidly there. Asdog is 7 fast, and he is now on the 4th row of the grid. Beautiful 17. Steve is now also starting his lap then. What about Sprint then? Sprint is also starting then. We've got a lot of action in the next 40 seconds or so then. Hold on to your hats, everyone. It's going to get very good indeed then. Oh, it's a Rizzo 6 there. He's not on a quick lap at the moment, but he's just getting out of the way of that Mercedes then. I know who is that Mercedes, I hear you ask. It's Fizzy. He's a 10th for a second down now in the second sector. Has he got anything left, Ben? He is almost out of fuel. I think this might be the end for Fizzy's qualifying campaign. It is indeed, unfortunately. Rizzo 6 is starting this lap down with 16 seconds to go, I should say that. Very expertly timed as well. T Sammy, I don't think he's going to be on pole position then. He's almost out of fuel. He isn't on pole position. T Sammy isn't. So Steve at the moment has the advantage then. What about the Alpha Tauri then? Here comes Matt then. He was on. He's been on pole position as well this season. He was in. I think it was Singapore, wasn't it? Let's see if we can do it twice tonight. He's 6 fastest then, Matt is. Asdog coming through the final stadium sector as well then. He's on fumes there, and Asdog abandons that very late and comes into the pits then. Steve is almost 2 seconds down then, so Steve is not going to lower the benchmark. What about Fizzy? Fizzy there is out of time, and I think also Val is as well. Is anyone else about to finish that lap? I think Sprint is, and here he is then, out of the final turn, out of the power tire. Let's see what he could do, and Sprint goes on to 3rd position there, and that's a great final time there as well. What about Roscoe? He's down in 9th. Doesn't want to be there for long. He is 3rd, then he displaces Sprint. Then what a final end then for those 2 drivers. Then good stuff, but there's still 1 more man to go. It is Rizzo 6 then. Can he find 3/10 of a second then to displace Asdog, and maybe even no, he abandons the time and he's in the pits then. Steve is on pole position then, and that's his 2nd pole position in the row then. Like in Italy a week ago, he is on pole position, and that is his 5th pole position of his season as well. Good stuff indeed there for Fizzy. He is only 3 away. He's only 3 away there from Maxi's record as well then, with 3 races to go then. So good stuff indeed there from Fizzy. He is on pole position. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed then for Steve. Excellent. Right then, so now getting ready for the race itself, and of course this is what a lot of you guys have been waiting for, haven't you? Of course it is the main event of IRC tonight. Oh, lovely shot. The main event then of IRC is of course the race itself, isn't it? We all love a good qualifying, don't we? But of course it's the race where it really gets our blood pumping, isn't it? And Steve then of course will be absolutely loving life at the moment. He is on pole position then for the Mexican Grand Prix. However, there's a long drag down into turn 1, isn't there? So maybe that is not the best place to be. And I'm wondering there if Roscoe and Sprint will be rubbing their hands in as they're on the 2nd row of the grid there. T Sammy there is lowering the benchmark down, but Steve's first run was enough, wasn't it? Incredible performance there from Steve. I wanted to track conditions changed there later on then. And so that Roscoe and Sprint had a very good time towards the end then. But Steve is on pole position there with T Sammy alongside there. Roscoe and Sprint are 3rd and 4th. Timmy and Fizzy 5th and 6th. Matt and Val 7th and 8th. And Asdog and Sticks there 9th and 10th for this then. We are now getting ready for the start of the Mexican Grand Prix round 19 of IRC season 8. Right, so you're now getting ready for the for the start of the start of the Mexican Grand Prix then, and here we go then. This is going to be a very interesting indeed, and so let's see what is going to be occurring then. Right then, so I've just said an interesting tweet there, but unfortunately I'm going to have to put that to one side then. Right then, we got 20 seconds to go then to the start of the Mexican Grand Prix then. We got 18 seconds to go then as the drivers are getting themselves sorted. This is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? Right then, we have now less than 10 seconds to go then. Oh goodness gracious me then, here we go then. Right then, as they are now all on the grid then, and they are about to get there. We're about to get going then for the Mexican Grand Prix as well, as they are off the grid, and let's get going, shall we then? Of course, this is the formation lap. This is, of course, where they start to warm up their tyres, of course, as well. As this is going to get very interesting. No one is on the hard tyres, are they? As the hard tyres is probably not the, I would say that the hard tyres is probably not the best way to go, is it, in this race, is it? But as they are now coming down into turn one as well then. Right, on pole position then we have Steed, and this is the fifth time he's been on pole position then in his career, this season, I should say. Alongside him is T. Sammy, both on soft tyres. We have Roscoe in third position with Sprint in fourth. Fifth position is Timmy with Fizzy in sixth position then. Seventh position is Matt with Val in eighth position. Matt is the only man in the top 10 on the medium tyres, and that could be interesting then. Ninth position is Asdog. Rizzle Sticks in 10th position then. Outside the top 10 then is Mason. He'll have fresh medium tyres then with Penny in 12th position. 13th position is Gaz with Hog in 14th. Maxi is in 15th. JJ 16th and PB is in 17th position. Those are the 17 cars then around this Mexican Grand Prix. And this is going to get very interesting indeed then. And yeah, this is, oh gosh, I'm looking forward to this. Disqualification there for a couple of drivers there. Perhaps they weren't very interested at all of finishing off the lap then, which is they're going to have a bit cooler tyres than what they probably like then, won't they? So now then, as we're getting onto the back of the grid, so we're on board PB. I'm sure he just joined, so let's see what let's see then if he can get back in the race then before the start of the race. I hope he does then, because PB scored some really good points last time out, didn't he? So just on board with him now then. And then he's lining up then. He's lining up then to be on the he's lining up to be 17th on the grid as well then. And here we go then. This is going to be the start of the race as well then. As oh, great shot! I'm loving that. That's fantastic, isn't it? And here we go then. And let's see what is going to occur now then. The 5 lights are on, and we are going Mexico. And it's a good start from Steve. But look, Roscoe's already over the second position. He's already squeezing through, and that's an amazing start then for Roscoe. As we fly down into turn one, then Roscoe's gone from from third to first then. And look at this then. Roscoe leads. Steve is in second position, but Steve is trying to go on the outside then. Roscoe of the oh goodness me, they're going to touch, but Roscoe is not giving up. He's fight, but Steve somehow repels the attack there from Roscoe. Great stuff indeed then. As we're now coming down the back straight then. Roscoe's in second position, well then with T. Sammy now in third then. Look at this, as Timmy is now moved up. Oh goodness me, oh there's debris off the cars. Who is it? It's Timmy. He's gone around. Timmy is around. And where is he? And oh gosh, Timmy there has gone run off. Is he damaged the car? There's debris off one car. It is the McLaren, and Timmy once again, and a very unlucky driver of this race, isn't he? Maxi has not joined the session, has he? So he is still out of this race at the moment. Just watching Steve leads, and as he repelled nicely, didn't he? And there is T7, and he has got damage, but he's in third position at the moment. He needs to make hay whilst Maxi is not in this race. Sprint in fourth, Fizzy in fifth, Val 6, Asdog is 7th, and look at this, as Rizzle 6 has got past PB. PB then is just defending from hogging them on, and Gaz is in that 14th position as well. Then Timmy, unfortunately, having a nightmare race, which is such a blow. Then and you can see then there is the pit strategy as well. 2-stop strategy, isn't it? Soft, medium, perhaps for the. So we got Val, who's I think, oh yeah, we just got the usual tower, and it's just flicking up and down the mode, isn't it? So yeah, very interesting indeed as we're coming down into turn one. So Steve leads, and Roscoe second, and T Sammy in third position. Asdog is fourth at the no, he's not. Asdog's not fourth, and it is a Sprint who's in fourth position. I'm just watching T Sammy now, who's starting to get onto the back. Then he wants to reclaim that second position, and back from Roscoe, doesn't he? Roscoe had a great launch, didn't he? Going down into turn one, on board then with T Sammy at the moment, and Roscoe's going a bit wide as well before coming into the double right-hander, the mini stadium section as well. It's like an amphitheater down there, but not as much of an amphitheater as it is around the baseball stadium. It's absolutely beautiful stuff indeed, isn't it? Lovely 70 as we're going on board then with T7 and through the S's as well. Great stuff, and now then just flying underneath me as well, and brilliant stuff as he comes into the baseball sector, stadium sector once again. Then I know what I said. So who is now who has got what then in terms of the racecraft, in terms of race setup as well? Then it's all good being quick on one lap, but what about the whole race show as well? And that is what these drivers are going to have to contend with, isn't it, as they come through again. See, set the fast out of the race, but that has been quickly eclipsed by Roscoe. Roscoe looks like he is the quicker of the three drivers so far then, but that is a very bold statement to make there at the start of this race then. And there's no DRS yet, but DRS will be activated at the end of this lap as well. Asdog there flying through the field. He is now been doing sixth position and gets past the Mercedes Val as well. We've also got Penny, who's got past Mason as well, but both racing points are up in the 10th position. Lovely 17th then. Timmy is out of pit stop. He is down in 17th position at the moment then. On board then with Roscoe then, as he is now coming into the first sector then. So Steve leads then, Roscoe second, T Sammy in third position then. This is the front three at the moment. Sprint is just 0.8 of a second back at the moment to time then. Tire strikes then. Matt is the highest driver on the medium tire thus far. Other drivers on the medium tires is Mason, who's done 2 laps, and so is Gaz as well. Of course, we're very early on in this race, haven't we? And you're just now watching the Roscoe 7/10 second there. He will have DRS, so won't he, at the end of this lap then. So this is going to get very fruitful indeed then. It's very difficult to get off DRS around here because there's 3 DRS zones, isn't there? So I think Steve now needs to really needs to kind of stretch away. He needs to find an extra 10th of a second at the very least, but that might not be the case. So as now then Roscoe is definitely very much there. It is, and DRS is open. Now it's going to be difficult for Steve to break this DRS train. We have got everyone in DRS. I don't think Sprint's in DRS, so he is indeed just about. And then Fizzy is out of DRS, so in fifth finish mode, he's in no man's land on there. Fizzy has said. Unfortunately, Matt is gaining quite quickly there on Val going into turn one then. But unfortunately, that straight, believe it or not, was not long enough for the moment, was it? Lovely shot indeed. And here as the race here, and Roscoe. Look at how much DRS has already helped Roscoe there coming to the back there of Steve as well. And now he is. And now he is less than half a second behind that. Good 17, and this is going to be a great fight now. Timmy is at the fast on the race, but unfortunately Timmy is on his back foot, and he damaged the car, did he, when he was on the scrap with T Sammy going into turn 4 of the race. Turn 4 on lap 1 there. That's a bit unfortunate, isn't it? Sprint is outside the DRS range as well. There's going to be a lot of talk about the DRS, isn't there, here tonight, because as we've already mentioned, DRS is quite crucial around here, isn't it? Lovely shot as we're on board here with the world champion then. He is 17 points away from Max at the moment. He will be 2 points behind Maxi if it finishes like this, but there's an awful long way to go. We have got 32 laps around here, and of course this is another hurdle that these drivers have got to overcome. Then Maxi, though, is not in the race at the moment. If he can get back in is the question. Then I'm not sure what's happening with Maxi at the moment, but this is a crucial race there where he's not par at the moment. And Steve's actually got out of the DRS zone at the moment, but Roscoe is still in within a second and is going over the DRS detection line as well. And they are now breaking down and into turn 1 and the gap, so they quite nicely gapped themselves to start with, and it was very well behaved, wasn't it? There was only 1 or 2 shenanigans. Apart from that, everyone was very well behaved indeed. Then good stuff, so as you can see that everyone is about within 2 seconds of each other. JJ is actually 3 seconds back from PB, but very close indeed. And at the start of this race as well, so because they're so close. And look at Sprint, and all of a sudden Sprint is really just hot skipped and jumped there right up to the back of this battle as well. As Penny's having issues. Penny is off the track, and he's on the grass there. I'm not sure what's happening. He hasn't damaged the car by the looks of it, but these wings are so designed incredibly well, isn't they? So we might not see the damage there, but unfortunately, the damage from the outside is it. Oh, what's happening there? Gaz has had some major issues there going into Yes there, and he's almost Penny went to the back of him there, but Penny in 14th position at the moment then, coming through to complete the lap 5 in this race, and 30 laps to go in the Grand Prix, and here we go then. So now doing some more drag reduction in down here. Roscoe is out of DRS race. That is crucial, isn't it, in this battle for the lead? That Matt is 4/10 of a second back from Val as well, but Val is very close to the back of Asdog. Asdog has gone to the inside. Asdog's got no DRS, he's got no defence, and Val is up into 6th position then, and passes Asdog there, and a good 17 that both Mercedes are 5th and 6th, and a good handful of constructors World Championship points then, and again are very close actually, weren't they, to the back of the team. I can't remember who they were. Who were they close to? Goodness me, there was only the Red Bull team as well. At the moment, Roscoe is flying the flag for the Red Bull team. He is on course for 18 points there, but Mercedes are currently on course for 18 points as well, and so it's a dead heat at the moment. Lovely shot here then. Rizzle Sticks there is in the back when they're really challenging Mason C. Mason C is on the medium tires. Asdog has gone wide then. Oh my goodness me, and Asdog almost went to the back of Matt there, and he is and now then Mason's got an Asdog there, and drop it down the order there. That's unfortunate for the Alfa Romeo driver, and that's a big blow indeed, isn't it? So Asdog has dropped down to position there. He almost went to the back of Matt there, very close indeed then. But now we've got a bit of a tune now, haven't we? As the race here is come across the line once again, and C is now a second and a half in front of Roscoe in second position there. T Sammy is in third there. We got 4th is sprinting, and Asdog going a bit wide, and he's struggling on those tires, isn't he? Already, look at that. He's also on the rumble strips as well. Asdog's really struggling at this stage of proceedings. Not sure what there he did. It looks like he might have got wrong footed there. And now then, Rizzle Sticks then is now coming right underneath the rear wing of Mason. Mason's on the inside. Rizzle Sticks is going to be on the outside. Rizzle Sticks has more traction on the soft tires. And Mason is not going to wave him through though, is he? And look at this. And it's Rizzle Sticks has been forced wide. Asdog is now going on the inside as well. Asdog is now up into 9th position there. Good 17 then. And look at this. And so Asdog back into 9th. And Rizzle Sticks is going to go through. Look, we got where's Hog there? I didn't even see him. I was looking behind, and Hog is now on the inside as well. We haven't seen Hog so far in this event. Well, we've seen him now, and he is a burst onto the scene. Nice indeed. PB in the background there. He must be on the high after getting some points. That's the one. That's his first points since the Australian Grand Prix as well. Fizzy's had issues then in the Mercedes. He has gone off the track there, and he has dropped down the order, and now Matt has got the bit between his teeth. He has now been to 6th position now. He's having a lunge into the stadium sector, and Fizzy's gone off as well. And interesting times at the moment there. So we've seen 2 cars strolling through the S's thus far in this race as well, but the tires can't be going off here surely, or is this is a very much look, Fizzy is struggling now. Is the tires gone off? I'm absolutely shocked to see this. Fizzy's in the pits there. And so interesting stuff indeed, and that's what we love for, isn't it? We love the Grand Prix where the strategy is not straightforward. Mercedes mechanics are out there going to the medium compound tires, and here's the first of the runners there with a scheduled stop there. Look at these racers there, just slipstream as well there. That straight there, but believe it or not, as I keep saying, it's a bit too short there. Matt is now into 5th position. He's got 9 seconds worth of clear air over his teammate there in 4th position. So this is good stuff for Matt. Now he can start to really make hay whilst the sun is shining. The sun is absolutely bursting through the clouds, isn't it? It's a beautiful day here in Mexico, isn't it then? Look at Rizzle Sticks are absolutely hacksawing away at this steering wheel at the moment. They're impressive stuff and incredible stuff, isn't it? The Ferrari there. It does look like that the soft tires are really struggling, aren't they, at this stage of the race then as well. So at this rate, then goodness me, I don't think they're going to have to do 3 stops at the moment, aren't they? Good gosh, sir. And that's not what the drivers want, is it? Excuse me. Oh God, sir. That's not what I want either, is it? Now coming through the final turn then, and into the pits comes T. Simon, and of course the world champion, and the man who is of course who's not leading the championship yet, but he is currently 2 points behind Maxi as it stands. Val is also in the pits as well. So this interesting stuff. Then the medium runners are going to be quite happy with the races thus far, isn't it? Because there are a lot of their soft runner rivals have come in very early on that night. T. Simon couldn't have the pits as well. Where is Fizzy and all this? Where all this playing, and Fizzy then losing a lot of time then when he had issues there. JJ there flying past me, and look at Petty there. He has come back with a vengeance there. He is slipstreaming the Williams. He's going on the outside there. Petty is past JJ, or is he? No, because JJ has gone and up the inside. There's contact, and Petty there getting the rear wheel foot. Oh, and JJ's off there, and JJ there has got all of Williams' hopes there pinned on him tonight then, but unfortunately that's not gone good at all, has it? Fizzy in 12th position there as well, so JJ then is going to have all kinds of rubbish there on his tire set. Armstrong is dropped down into 16th position there, with T. Sammy pitting then. I think that this is definitely going to mean that we've got yellow flags. What's going on here? JJ's off again then. JJ's got some, I think those soft tires are screaming as now Steve has had to react there. He's coming into the pits. Roscoe's in the pits as well. Sprint has taken the lead then. The pit window's over then, so they've come in the pits there 2 laps earlier. So that's interesting stuff indeed then. So he's in the pits there, changing tires. Roscoe is. He's on the yellow marked medium compound tires. Where is T. Sammy, I hear you ask? He is behind PB at the moment then, and JJ's having some issues there. Into the pits because the Ferrari and also the Renault as well then. PB is up into 9-6 position, I'd say then. And look at this side, there's a drag race, and who is that? That's the race leader in front of us. That's the second half set over Steve as well, and he is gaining it. And that was close indeed, and Steve had to react then because the undercut is powerful around this circle, isn't it? Everyone is coming to the pits and has gone to the medium compound tires. Fizzy's gone past Gaz. Well, lovely shot from the nose cone here, the McLaren there, as Gaz there is on the it's on the medium tires to start with as well. Look at that, Zazdog gets past Timmy as Timmy there dropped down into 13th position then as well then. So JJ comes into the pits then as Young coming to the pits. As he coming into the pits now, those soft tires have really had a painful experience on JJ's car, and so I'm wondering if he had issues there before, because him and Penny were very close, weren't they? I wonder if they got a bit too close and I might damage JJ's car in some way or other. Sprint there, of course, that he is currently out on his own, but now he comes into the pits a couple of laps later than his rivals. Oh, he's coming too quickly now. The pit line is comes up on you quite quickly, doesn't it? He is in the pits then, and now then let's see what he can do then. So that is a 5-second penalty now, which will be added on to the end of his time then. Matt leads the Mexican Grand Prix, car 40. He takes over from his teammate as well. T. Sammy set the fast on the race then, and T. Sammy there is very much on the prowl, isn't he? Now the sprint is coming out of the pits and he's got a 5-second penalty to add to his race time as well. There's PP flying down the order then, and you can see then there is the black and white warning flag then. Lovely shot here from the nose cone, the Mercedes Haas driver, and there's a sprint goes into 6th position. That's crucial for sprint now, but he is going to be on his back foot now. He's going to be fighting upwards now, isn't he? Val going on the outside of Gaz. That's a cracking manoeuvre there from Val. Really good stuff indeed. Gaz has done 10 laps on those medium tires, same strategy as Mason in second, and Matt who's in this race at the moment. Then blimey, these laps are flying by. It's a very short circuit, isn't it? Fizzy has dropped down to Fizzy's up to 8th position now because Petty has dropped down into 9th position then. Timmy in 14th position, and we've got Hogg in 15th. Maxi is not in this race at the moment, and JJ in 17th position as well. On board then with Matt, so he's got 3.5 second deficit over himself and Mason. But look at Mason. Mason has now got the fury of the man who's fourth in the world championship and the world champion for last year. So as Mason now is coming to the pits, that's very early there for Mason on the medium tires, I think. But we'll find out then. I wonder if Mason there probably wanted to probably just get out of the way, maybe, or was that his planned strategy? Let's find out then. So Mason in the pits, he's on the medium tires, which is quite early, I think, for the medium tires, but he's going to Southend. Mason there is going to have an attack of a second stint here. PB also in the pits well for Haas. Had a very strong start then to his Mexican Grand Prix, and he is on a high after those points last time out as well in the Italian Grand Prix for car 27, and he's in a great time then. Penny also in the pits well, so is Timmy as well. Lovely 70 then. Riz6 also got past Gaz as well, and moved up into oh my goodness me there, and Gaz there, goodness me, he was jumping across the grass there with me. Mason is out, just in front behind as well. Mason there's going to have a lot more perch there as the Gaz there is trying to defend now. We have an Alfa Romeo just in front. There's Rizzlesticks also in the thick of it. Now then Mason is up the inside, or is he? Where is Gaz? Gaz, there he is. Gaz down in that position then. So we've got a lot of mixed strategies out there at the moment. We've got Rizzlesticks on soft tires, Mason on soft tires. All their competitors have gone to the opposite as Gaz is having issues there, and he has gone straight on it, turned forward. Had some issues there with the McLaren there, and that McLaren is looking very unhappy, isn't it? He's losing grip there on those immediate tires, and that's unfortunate. On board now then with Rizzlesticks as he flies into the stadium sector as well. Then Matt leads him, but it's Steve who's now less than a second behind him. T. Sammy is third position. Roscoe in fourth. Sprint now is giving Roscoe a run for his money in fifth position. Fizzy and Val 6th and 7th. As Dog and Rizzlesticks, which we're looking at now, is in the battle for 8th and 9th position. They come out of the final turn. And now then it's coming down the start-finish straight then. And Asdog then looks at Asdog's got quite a quick motor car underneath him, hasn't he? So good stuff did that. He's on the medium tire, so he ain't going to have a lot of launch off that final Nigel Mansell turn, is he? But there's Gaz got a 5-second penalty as well. That would be the second penalty in this race, unfortunately. It's an accelerate out of turn 3 then coming down the back straight. Timmy is in 13th position now. I think Timmy would need a safety car or something of that kind there to really get himself back into the race set. And look at this, and Steve there, and look at T. Sammy, and T. Sammy knows that this might be a golden opportunity for him to take the lead of the Grand Prix, because Steve so far has been incredible. He's been absolutely peerless so far, hasn't he? But now then this is where the uncertainty comes in of racing, is it? Where you're against the car who is as Matt there is just peeled off into the pits there, and I'm surprised at how quickly these tyres are going off, and goodness me there. And yes, I'm thinking is this going to be more than a two-stopper then? Well, we'll find out, and these guys are going to have to do a lot of tyre preservation in this race there. I know a lot of you guys are going to be groaning on that one, aren't you? You don't really like tyre preservation, do you? But unfortunately Formula 1 is a tyre Formula 1. Fortunately or unfortunately, it depends on where you sit there. I do like a bit of tyre preservation there, but of course not too much there, otherwise it's not ideal. Is that Matt is coming out, and Matt is going very slow out of the pits there, so I'm not sure if I think he's up to speed now then, so I'm wondering if I'm not sure what happened there for Matt then. Look at this, there's Mason there who is having a look there on the inside of Rizzlesticks down, got past Asdog, now Mason's on the inside, that's beautiful. Oh no, it isn't there, because you collided there. Oh well, Rizzlesticks and Mason got a bit too close for comfort there. There's Matt in the background there as well, in the AlphaTauri. He's come up just behind these battling trio at the moment, haven't they? And here is Rizzlesticks as well. Asdog on full lap of medium tires. So Rizzlesticks off the circuit there. I was expecting Mason to be showing the nose down the inside there, but Mason there was a bit more politer than a lot of other drivers, I'm sure, would have just definitely had a lunge down there, wouldn't they? But of course Mason is definitely thinking about the long game here, because he has got the pace advantage over the two cars in front, hasn't he? He doesn't want to throw that away for a risky manoeuvre, does he? He has got DRS on. Is he going to have a lunge there into the stadium sector? Not quite there for the racing point driver there, but look at this confidence. He's got on the accelerator. He's on the accelerator quite a bit more than Rizzlesticks at the moment there, but Rizzlesticks might also be looking out for those tyres as well. We're coming through the Nigel Mansell turn as well. Asdog will be happy with this because he's kind of shifted the focus of him being the target, and now Rizzlesticks has gone from the hunter to the hunted. Then DRS, and look at those, look at the drag reduction system there being opened up. Matt is also in DRS range as well. Then lovely stuff. And T. Sammy is 8/10 of a second back at the moment. And coming down into turn 1. Sprinted 6/10 of a second behind Roscoe at the moment, and so Sprint now that 5-second penalty. It's going to be very difficult to gain 5 seconds over his competitors, isn't it, at this stage of proceedings then. Matt on soft tyres as well then, and Matt and Mason they're going side by side. Matt on the inside, Mason on the outside then. Matt is through. Oh, Matt's gone very deep, but that corner is very, of course, if you go deep in there, then it is very difficult to overtake into turn 5, isn't it? So then as Matt is now going to be greeted by Rizzlesticks and Asdog as well, and of course he's got to be careful as well, because he's always past Mason dropping back slightly at this stage then. And on board on the AlphaTauri, you can see that you can hear the engine purring away, can't you? And look at this, DRS as well, and going on the inside, passing through and up into 8th position there. Rizzlesticks down in 9th then, and of course then some Matt on fresh tyres. As you fancy those fresh tyres, are straight on it from the get-go, isn't he? And now his next target is Asdog as well. He needs to get past Asdog as quickly as possible. Asdog on the medium tyres, and then he's going for a longer stint. Then Matt set the fast up the race set, and of course, then so he is looking strong at this stage of proceedings as well. And look at this, as he's gaining, and Asdog then he's going to fight this one. It doesn't look like Asdog is fighting this one too much. Look at the foreground. That was Val there. Asdog there. Oh gosh, there is you can see that breaking so much there. Asdog is not going to wave anyone through, is he? And why should he? This is racing, isn't it? But now then Matt then would like to get, but Matt needs to get through as quickly as possible. This is critical, as the engineers would say, for his race strategy. He is on the outside. Asdog is still fighting away. This is incredible battling. Oh, Asdog and Matt are coming together as well. Asdog's gone wide, and now he's also going to lose position there. As Rizzlestick's almost going into the back there, and Asdog is back through. Brilliant race, and I'm loving that. And I've got to say, getting their elbows out there, and that's what we love to see, isn't it? And Asdog there and now Rizzlestick there is now under the cosh once again, and Mason is now come back into his own once again. Lovely shot here from the helicam, half a second away, and Sprint and Roscoe are between each other, then 7 tenths of a second between. Oh my goodness me! As Mason now having a look into a turn. Oh, but Rizzlestick's gone wide. He's gone on the AstroTurf. And now Mason on the outside, and Rizzlestick. Oh my goodness me! It's very difficult to overtake around there. We've got blue flag fluttering there, and I think it might be for I think it's for the second Ferrari of Maxi, who's not in the race. And so we've got 16 cars in this race. As I'm not sure what's happened to the. Well, I'm not too sure what's happened to the. Championship leader then. Matt's now up into 6th position, and Val dropping down into 7th then, and job done then. So Matt then is flying at this stage of proceedings, isn't he? As we already mentioned there, he does need to get on a bit of a squirt at this stage, doesn't he? And of course this is the moment there where he really needs to make up time on those soft tires as well. Then we are coming up to half distance in this race then, and it's been an absolutely incredible show, hasn't it, from the IRC Season 8 drivers, hasn't it? The class of 2000 of Season 8, I should say, of 2020. 2 cars that got penalties so far as the 5-second penalties as well. Someone drove over my loafer. I don't think that was JJ. It was JJ. JJ was on a fine race as well, but unfortunately, I think that he came to. He was. I think he caught some damage there after he came a bit too close to another car, didn't he? Across the line once again. And T-Sam and DRS is on the money. Then look at this. Then he is gaining, but this straight might not be long enough. And Steed out is going to be concerned. And is T-Sam going to have a look then? He is in the zone there. He's in the zone there. Oh gosh, there now. Of course, I think the Steve did leave an opening there, didn't he? But just in case T-Sam had a lunch there. But it's sprinted. He's on the outside, passes Roscoe, and up into 3rd position as well. He's 7 seconds in between himself and T-Sam, the battling duo at the front. Then Sprint, who is 3rd in the World Championship, is 3rd in this race as it stands. Good stuff indeed. Then it's Mason and Rizzlestick are once again then battling away there. Now Mason's up the inside there. Good manoeuvre there from Mason, and he has done it. Now then he has lost a bit of time behind Rizzlestick, hasn't he? But can he use the pace there? And look at Timmy there flying past PB as well, up into 12th position there. Timmy is about 15 seconds away from points at the moment then. So we'll keep an eye on his progress throughout this event as well. And we're half distance now in the Mexican Grand Prix, and you can see then there's JJ, who is really struggling for traction on that Williams, isn't he? And so I think that car is feeling very unhappy now, isn't it? After what's occurred earlier on this race, T's having coming out of the far turn, right, 7 tenths of a second behind Steed. And he will have DRS now, and yes, he does have DRS. And JJ doesn't have DRS, and I'm wondering if he was behind there, but Steed does. So Steed does have DRS. So JJ, the lap car, is very much help the race leader then as we go down into turn 1, and that's very good 7D there for Steed, and he's going to be loving that, isn't he? This man here, the world champions, not going to be too impressed, but of course that's the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it? But there's still, I reckon there's still at least one more stop to go in this race, isn't it? They're going to stretch these medium tires for at least another couple of laps, I think, and we're interested to know how long Matt's going to go on those tires. I think he's got at least another 6 laps in those tires Matt has, and so going to be a very interesting stuff indeed, isn't it? Matt is less than a second behind Fizzy now, but let's keep an eye on this. And so Matt has DRS then on the back straight, or does he? Let's take a look. He does have DRS in, Matt, doesn't he? Has he got a DRS failure there on that AlphaTauri, or was he too far back? I'll be surprised if he is. There's yellow. As JJ's had some issues there in the Williams, and the Williams car is really struggling this season, and hopefully Williams team get some points on the board before the end of the season as well. It's been a difficult season for the Williams team all around, hasn't it? Which is a big shame. And we're on board then with Matt. I think the Matt, of course, we've gone from Williams, who was at the bottom of the constructors, to the AlphaTauri, who are at the top of the constructors at the moment as well. They've been an absolutely fine form, hasn't they? Really impressive stuff indeed. Then from AlphaTauri, they have been very much the unbeatable team thus far. It's just their incredible teamwork, hasn't it? As JJ's retired from the race, and that is our second retirement in this race, and of course that should be. I'm going to award a safety car because he is in the pits and he's parking up. Then JJ said there must be damage on that Williams. Matt has gone down the inside and passes Fizzy, and he is now with the fifth position. Fizzy dropping down 6 positions right into the pits. Comes through the 6. He's done 10 laps on the soft tyres. He is going to be on the medium tyres now for the final stint. Then 16 laps to go. Then for Rizz 6 on those medium tyres. Can he get to the end then? We have also got Timmy. That 3-second penalty for Val. That's the only penalty we've got so far. So only 3 penalties in the field. Hats off and good stuff indeed then. We've got Jan saying, wow, good, what a race set. We've also got Ballas saying, I hold my breath, I'm holding my breath along with the commentator. Great job, my friend, Ned. Thank you very much, Vallis. I really appreciate it, my good man, Ned. So now going back then to, of course, I think Val and Lucas and the rest of the Greek contingent there. Of course, the fans are cheering on T. Sammy as well. And there's the man they want to see win. But at the moment, he is second in the race there. And the C is repelling the attacks, isn't he, so far from T. Sammy. Has a stand in the drivers' championship. T. Sammy will take the lead though. It's only a 17-point gap then, and that is exactly what T. Sammy wanted, wasn't it, at the start of this event then as well. Good stuff. Max is not scoring any points at he's down out of the race then. As it stands, he's in 16th position then. He's a ghost car, but he's out of this race unfortunately. Val has just got past his teammate because Fizzy is coming in the pits. He's on the hard tires, Fizzy is, until the end of the race then. We've seen the Ferrari driver going on to the medium tires, didn't we? And look at this, and also Asdog's on the medium tires. Well, the tyre wear around here is absolutely a premium tonight, isn't it? Good gosh, I wasn't expecting that. I thought that didn't expect to see the white shod, the white medium, the white hard tyres, but gosh, I have been completely wrong, and that's why I don't listen to Beyond Strategy. Now as the McLaren mechanics are coming in, getting to work as well. Timmy going on to the medium tires, and so this is this is very interesting indeed. I'm loving this race as well. Absolutely fantastic stuff as they come into the stadium sector as well. And gotta say, T. Sammy is very much not leaving Steve alone at the moment, is he? Steve will probably like a break or two, but goodness me, he is definitely not. Who's going to react to come in the pits first? And none of the two front runners to come in just yet, and Alfie. And this is going to get very good indeed. And they have dropped a sprint now. Sprint overtook Roscoe a couple of laps ago. Has not gained on these guys at all, have they? So I think that is now a 2-horse race, isn't it? Unfortunately, Sprint doesn't have the pace to reduce the arrears, which he was behind when he got past Roscoe. Roscoe in 4th position mode. He's still going to get 3rd position though. Sprint needs to build a 5-second gap there because he's got a 5-second penalty. Asdog's got a penalty as well on those tyres as well. And who is that then? Asdog's out of the race then. Oh, he's gone off in a major way then. And that's a safety car. The Alfa Romeo driver in the wall. Quite a hefty speed as well. Into the pits there comes Mason. So Mason reacted straight away. He is onto the hard tires. The Racing Point driver is. Well, Hog is also at the pits. Well, the Renault mechanics go to work. He's on the soft tires. And then it is a complete difference. I'm loving this. He comes out of the pits now then. Who else coming in the pits? Rizzle Sticks there who just came in the pits then. Is this going to hurt Rizzle Sticks? Bow with Mason? Indeed it is. Mason's already out of the pits then. And look, Mason's down the road there. Interesting stuff indeed then. So PB also coming in the pits. Well, PB is on the cusp of potentially getting some points where the Haas driver comes into the pits. He is also going on to the medium tires as well. It's a complete difference, isn't it? I'm loving this at the moment. So this safety car is really it's really triggered off the final positions, doesn't it? Final pit stops here, and this might be slightly too early than what some drivers would like. For example, Matt would have probably liked to have had a couple more laps. And look at how close they're. T. Sammy is definitely not giving Steve an inch as they come into the pits, don't they? Once again, then, I know this will be the final round of pit stops. I think Rizzle got a drive-through penalty there for speeding under the safety car. And now then the Haas mechanics go to work, then they're throwing on the soft tires there. And Haas were a bit slow, I thought they were. I'm wondering if they were still... And look, Steve is now behind it. Haas have made as Haas has had an appalling stop then. I think was it because they were still getting position after PB came in the pits. I'm not sure. Well, PB is quite a way around the circuit then, so Haas were just very slow. Roscoe coming out of the pits while Sprint now is served with 5-second penalty, so he will not get at the end of the race now. Matt also in the pits while changes on to the medium tires here then. Val also on the medium tires while then. Is Matt going to get out in front then? Yes, indeed he is, and he is in 5th. Val in 6th position. Fizzy is not going to go. Is he going to be able to get out in front of his teammate then? Look at this. He is not going full speed. He's under the dial to safety car. There's his teammate in front of us. Is Matt, and Matt has got out in front of Fizzy. Good performance indeed then. And Fizzy on the hard tires. Mason on hard tires as well. Sticks there on the Hog is on the softs at the moment then. I got to say, we've got all three we've got all three tires out there at the moment, haven't we? Good stuff indeed then. So T Sammy leads the Grand Prix. Alfa Romeo have done a better stop than the Haas team, haven't they? And that is what is the difference in this race. When I gotta say, I was expecting the pit crews to be the difference maker tonight, but indeed that has been the case, hasn't it? As Dog there is helped his teammate indirectly, kind of, hasn't he? Because that pit the safety car that he triggered there has also triggered safety. There's also triggered pit stops as well, and has helped his teammate there leapfrog Steve, and is now in second. Is now leading this race, and Roscoe's also leapfrog Sprint as well. But that 5-second penalty has now disappeared there for Sprint, so he's going to be very happy, isn't he? And look at Roscoe there, just weaving from left to right there. That is just to try and get some tyre temperature into those medium tyres then. Right, lap 23 out of 36, and we've got 13 laps to go in this race then. T Sammy leads then, medium tyres, Steve second, medium tyres, Roscoe third, Sprint fourth, Matt fifth, medium. In 6th position there is Fizzy. He's gone for the hard tyre. Val in 7th position, he's on the medium tyres. 8th position is Mason. He is also on the hard tyre along with Fizzy. 9th position is Rizzlesticks. Unfortunately, Rizzlesticks and Val have both got penalties, unfortunately. And 10th position is Hog. He's on the soft tyres. 11th position is Timmy. Then he's just outside the points now. Of course, we did say he might need a safety car. Well, he's got it, and he's got now kind of a sprint to the end of the race and then get some points on the board for the McLaren team after he's been fighting an uphill battle since damaging his wing with the battle with this man here in turn 4. We got PB in 12th position there. Can he get some points? 2nd race in a row. Petty is currently at the moment in 13th position there on medium tyres as well. He's just catching to the back of the crocodile, and then we have got Gaz in 14th position as well. Those are the final runs as well, and Gaz has got a 5-second penalty for quarter cut in there, and that is I think the Gaz there has also been disqualified as well for ignoring your yellow flag. We're on board with him now. Oh, he's been disqualified. So Gaz is out of the race. He was a lap caught in. So the McLaren car is out of the race. What a shame there for Gaz then, and that's unfortunate, isn't it? So he was a lap caught in. And of course, you kind of got to roll the dice, haven't you? Because sometimes you get away with that. Well, I think you do anyway. But as they're on board Hog, then he's the only one on the soft tires. Then with 12 laps to go, then I've got to say he's going to have to squeeze those hard. He's going to have to really look after those soft tires towards the end. And I wonder if the drop off is going to be too much then for the Renault car. But who knows? Who knows? And of course, that's the beauty about live sport. We do not know, do we? Until the checkered flag as well. Safety car is out, is staying out once again. And as Penny is just there he is in the background, just catching up then as well. Oh, the safety car is in. There they are, and we're about to get going once again here in Mexico then. And how is T Sammy going to play this? This is a very long drag, isn't it? Down into turn 1 then. When is he going to drop the hammer? We're on board with him now then. Where do we go? We are racing here in Mexico for the last sprint of the leg. I think that I love Matt's on a good stop, but so is Roscoe as well. Roscoe and Steve fight. Look at this, it's going to be a free car drag. They go down, and PB's got a penalty for speed in the pit lane. And look at this, then it's free cars, and Branson's free cars. Roscoe's on the inside. T Sammy is just rebounding, but Roscoe's on the inside. We've also got Matt and the sprint there also battling away as well. Oh, and Steve's dropped down the order then, and once again it's unlucky for Steve, isn't it? Goodness me. And now sprint then is in 5th position, 4th position as well. Fizzy is alongside Matt then, is it? Goodness me, he's more alongside. He's past Matt, moved up into 5th position as well. And Fizzy using those hard tires to great effect that at the moment. So I thought he was going to struggle to get him up to temperature. We've got Timmy and Mason, but Timmy's gone on the outside. Mason's on the inside. And look at this, and great shots here from the Racing Point driver. And look, Timmy's got off the inside into the S's. Indeed, he does it, but Mason's not giving up there. He is going to run wide there, and he's on to turn on the turn there, see, because Timmy has the right of way. Oh, good stuff indeed. Now Hogg is on the soft tires, and he is going to be pushing. He's going to be squeezing that Mercedes, isn't he? I'm going to look down into the stadium sector. Now then, Roscoe up into second position as well. That's crucial. That's crucial in this Grand Prix as well. They come through the stadium sector as well. Look at this as they hop over the curbs as well, and a bad start. Lovely shots here. I'm absolutely loving this. This is great stuff indeed there. And they come through into complete lap 35. Roscoe is second, and there's no DRS yet. We have to wait 3 laps. Look at them all fly underneath me into the pits. Comes Rizzle Sticks in, so that's not good at all. And PB is now Penny is now to 11th position as well. We've also got Hogg, who's now over the 7th position. He passes the Mercedes driver on the soft tires, and so Hogg then, who was not took part in qualifying, is now in 7th position there. Good stuff indeed then. Look at Valden really wrestling with that Mercedes head coming out of turn number 3. And now Steven, he's going to be barely disappointed from first to third in that safety car period, and it's not going to talk well, has it, for the man who's on pole position. He is looking very commanding in this race as well. He was keeping T. Sammy at arm's length, but now all of a sudden there he's very much on the back foot, isn't he? Going through the S's as well. You can see that the dirty air on that Haas there is not helping at all, and the Haas team there has really let down Steve Hammond there at this stage of proceedings as well. Steve there was on the back foot, but he's still in third position on that. He still can win this race there, but T7 there is trying to break DRS, and DRS will be available at the end of this lap as well. And the man has got past Fizzy, and that's also another driver that might not be too impressed there with the safety car perhaps, but also of course Fizzy getting past him as well. Fizzy's on the harder tire, but Matt's had a good run there. Look at that, he's got the ERS going, he's got the DRS as well, as we're going to have a drag down into turn 1 there, but Fizzy's got quite a quick motor car, hasn't he? Oh my word there. And look at this, they're coming down into turn 1 then. He's having a look there, but Fizzy there is on the outside there, and Fizzy there is giving Matt there. Oh my word, how close was that there? Less than a whisker separate those two drivers. Are very close indeed there. Good stuff, man. But Fizzy there is I think Fizzy's dropped back into 6th position now. He has dropped back there beyond the Alpha Tauri driver. And once again, AlphaTauri showing that they've got such a strong driver lineup, and once again, the AlphaTauri team are featuring very prominently in the top 10. Once again, that's why they're leading the constructors, isn't it? It's because their racecraft is absolutely splendid, isn't it? And here comes Hogg then as well. And Hogg there is getting very snaky. He was now the S's there, and he has lost a lot of momentum now on Fizzy. He's right behind Fizzy, maybe a bit too close behind Fizzy, which is why he's dropped back now. And now Val is trying to go on the inside. Hogg is giving him a squeeze, but I think Val there is not gonna. Oh, he's in the wall, and Val is in the wall there, and he's got him way too deep there. And then Timmy then is trying to get past as well. Yeah, so Val there just getting him very too deep there as well. Oh goodness me, and Timmy there has already lost his wing once, hasn't he? But the Val is coming into the pits there. What a shame for the Mercedes driver as well. He wanted to strike whilst the iron was hot then with Val on his back foot. Both Racing Points are now in the top 10. Good stuff indeed. Then it's a good performance for the Racing Point team. They're 9th in the constructors at the moment then, but lovely. And now then, T. Sammy is out of DRS range then, which is crucial, isn't it? With 8 laps to go in this Mexican Grand Prix, then Steve is now all over the back of Roscoe, and Steve is not going to shy away from overtake if the opportunity presents itself. Is it? Val is on the hard tires. I wonder if he had no soft tires left fed. Otherwise, they probably would have thrown on a set of soft tires surely then. So that's a double blow there, isn't it, for the Mercedes driver as well then. We're on board now as PB is just coming out very close to the back of Val. Val then will have PB does have fresh soft tires on here, so Val might have to get himself moving then, doesn't he? Back at the battle of the front then as we're on board then with the management of pole position 5 times this season. He's going to be feeling very unlucky in the race, though, isn't he? Goodness me then. Out of the final turn there. Once again, the gap is up to 1.7 seconds. T. Sammy is going to be loving this. He's going to be taking the lead in the World Championship as well. And look at that. Sprint is also not out of it's also in this battle as well, isn't he? So there, if anything, onto oh look, Steve's on the outside. That's an amazing manoeuvre there, absolutely fantastic. Roscoe ain't gonna let that one slide, is he? But that's an amazing move there. Steve is on the outside, he takes Roscoe there, and he was not just definitely seen that getting a bit feisty, wasn't I think he's angry under that crash helmet, isn't he, after what's transpired in this race. And he's got a 2-second deficit to get himself after T Sammy. Can he do it then? Very good 17 with Maxi not scoring tonight either. He might be able to sneak himself back in the championship. It's still going to be a long shot, but he is not out of the, but he is still in it, which is definitely the most important point then. Well, I gotta say, that's one of the overtakes of the year, isn't it? That's an absolutely fantastic overtake. I'm loving that. Well, amazing stuff indeed. Then we're on lap 29 out of 36 as well then. As we're now coming into the twilights of this race as well. And as Rizzling's got a 3-second penalty, I think that for our driver's a bit frustrated. Only 16 seconds off the final points at the moment then, which is held by Penny and Mason as well. Good stuff indeed there from both of those drivers. Fizzy is looking very strong in these hard tires, isn't he? He's looking very good indeed there. Mason also looking strong as well, and he's 2.1 seconds away from Tim and Ennis. We come down the back straight once again there. I think the straight might be a bit too short then, but then for sprint then, Roscoe's on the back foot then. He's had a bit of a pulling lap then, and now sprint on the outside, and he's having the first position. He's on the podium then. Roscoe's dropped from second to fourth then in the 2 laps then, so that is not good then for Roscoe. He is off the podium unfortunately for the Red Bull driver, but still it's a good result though for Red Bull, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered, wasn't it? Well, what a race as well, goodness me. I gotta say, I'm absolutely shattered in this one. This has been a good one, hasn't it? So 13 cars are left in this race, and retirements is Gaz. He got disqualified then. I think he's rolling the dice there to see if he could unlap himself. We've also lost JJ as well. He had to come together, didn't he? I think he damaged his car, and he was right near the back, and then I think that he was just struggling with the balance of the car, wasn't he? Also got a big smash around here, didn't he? And he caused a safety car, which inadvertently helped his teammate Junksty in the pit stops. Good stuff indeed there from good stuff indeed there from the Alfa Romeo drivers, for Alfa Romeo pit crew. Brilliant. And now we're just watching Timmy as well, and as he is very close to the back of Hogg. Hogg is on soft tires, and on one of those soft tires are now starting to really degrade on the race on the Renault driver. Third time's the charm now, goodness me then. And now then Hogg is going to have to defend, but I think that Timmy's through. He is through then, and I think that underlines then that Hogg's tires are now past their sell by day, and I think that Hogg might have a bit of a mission there to keep himself from dropping into the racing point clutches there with Penny though, who is now all of a sudden started to put a very good run of laps in, because he's now coming into the back of his team. I wonder if we're going to have a bit of team orders there in the racing point team, the Silverstone based team, and good. But I think that this has been a very good result today. Hopefully they can get some 3 points on the board, but I reckon they can get some more then with Hogg there very much on his back foot then, and got to keep him on these times then, because I think they're going to be tumbling down now for Hogg, aren't they? I think that these laps are going to be not going to be the race ain't going to finish quick enough, is it, for Hogg, is he? Because he is going to be struggling, isn't he, on those soft tires then. Just watching the racing point now with Penny. He's got a little bit between us, even though we're on board the racing point driver. I think that Penny's had a very strong race now, hasn't he? Good stuff indeed there for Penny. He's scored 6 points this season, and I think all those 6 points came back in Australia, didn't they? So this will be a second point scoring finish of the season, and if he can stay there by the moment, he hasn't got a challenge from behind him at all. Reversal sticks quite far back at the moment, isn't he, in the Ferrari, unfortunately. So Rizzle sticks 11th then, penalty. He's also Val's got penalty, and PB has, well, shame for PB there, because up until very late on in this race there, he was looking good for some major points as well then. So then the gap at the front end is 2 seconds in between T Sammy and Steve. We got to sprint in third position there. Fourth position is Roscoe. Matt is now 2.5 seconds back, but I think it's Fizzy who is now also going to be is still going to be very interested in Matt's fifth position there. These hard tires are working very well on the Mercedes, so I've got to say I'm really impressed there with these hard tires, and that just shows I absolutely know nothing about the strategy around here. 4 laps to go in this race then, and this is going to be a very tense affair, isn't it? As we're counted down to the final stage of the Mexican Grand Prix, and also the final stretch of the season here in IRC as well. We have got 4 races to go. I got 3 races to go after this one. We move north next week, don't we, for the Canadian Grand Prix, one of my favourite circuits on the calendar, and that one's going to be classic, isn't it, with the Wall of Champions as well, and yeah, that's going to be great, isn't it? Then we go to Austria, and Austria can be very unpredictable with the weather there, isn't it? Usually the rain comes with about 10 laps to go. It really spices things up, doesn't it? So there's a lot of twists and turns left in this amazing IRC season as well. And then we finish off in Bahrain, the jewel in the desert, don't we? And of course that usually produces absolutely amazing league races, doesn't it? And then there's Fizzy at the moment. He's just trying to... he's keeping an eye on Matt at the moment, isn't he? Because Matt there is very much feeling the pinch, isn't he, of the Mercedes driver. Those medium tyres have only done 9 laps, though, haven't they? So I'm quite surprised that the medium shod runners are really struggling against Fizzy at the moment, isn't he? Because Fizzy, by the looks there, is one of the quicker drivers on the circuit. I haven't said that then. Through the second sector there, Fizzy really lost out quite heavily to the AlphaTauri. So to me, then, that looks like the AlphaTauri has got a lot of downforce, doesn't it? But of course, I'm just surmising there. I could be completely wrong, but that just looks like to me. Then maybe it's also a part of the dirty air effect as well. Of course, dirty air on these modern Formula 1 cars is quite crucial, isn't it? So we're coming through to complete goodness me, then 3 laps to go in this Mexican Grand Prix as well. Absolutely fantastic stuff. I've really enjoyed this one, and this has been immense. I'm busy having a look on the inside then, but of course then he's too far back of him. But look at how much he gains then going down into turn 1. It's such a long straight down there, so I do love the long camera shot down there. It really shortens the straight though, doesn't it? It's such a long way down there. Of course, it was the longest, second longest run into a braking zone. I think it's the first longest run into turn 1 itself, isn't it? Of course, Russia does turn 1 on Russia. That comes up quite quickly, isn't it? But turn 2 is where the first real breaking point is in Russia, of course, then. Lap 35 out of 36, and this is the closest battle on track at the moment, isn't it? And of course, Fizzy has been really putting the squeeze on Matt, hasn't he, for the past couple of laps or so. Matt has repelled it very nicely indeed on those medium tyres, hasn't he? So really good stuff indeed there for Matt, and of course he's in 5th position mode. Sprinters up in the 3rd position. AlphaTauri are going to be extending their lead in the constructors, if I'm not very much mistaken then. So good stuff indeed there for the AlphaTauri. Haas then are, well, there's only Stee in 2nd position at the moment, and Haas are 4th in the constructors. T. Samuel set the fast on the race then, so I've got to say, with 1 lap to go then, that just shows how impressive T. Samuel's been then. Val's got another penalty as well then to add to his very difficult day indeed, hasn't he, for the Mercedes driver, unfortunately, because Val was actually doing very well, wasn't he, up until the final stages race, but it's not gone at all well, has it, for Val in the latter stages then. Same with Russell Stakes and PB as well. What a shame for PB then, up until the safety car. He was very much on the outskirts, on the outside of the podium as well then. And just taking a look then, is T. Salmon is coming out of the It's coming on the mini stadium sector as well. Then he's on the SSN T Sammy SN. He's been absolutely amazing, hasn't he, today? And he is going for his 8th Grand Prix win. He's got the most Grand Prix wins of IRC this season. He's got 7 tonight. He's got 7 so far. He's going to have 8 then if he can cross the line before Steve and sprint in the latter stage of this race. Well, coming out of the stadium sector for the 36th and final time. What a performance there. And T Sammy is also going to be taking the lead in the IRC driver standings as well. And he exits the final corner and T Sammy wins the Mexican Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff indeed there for T Sammy. Really good stuff then. Absolutely amazing.